Kansas State football coach Chris Klieman with us, 365 Sports, of the defending Big 12 champions. What does that mean?
That we accomplished a really important big goal that we had when we came in 2019. Got some validation to what we're doing is the right way in Manhattan, Kansas, and that you can come to Kansas State, you can win a Big 12 championship, and you can get drafted in the first round. We did both those two things.
I'd imagine that that's probably been brought up right at the beginning of just about every interview. That's part of your introduction now because you guys won. But is it also kind of, all right, that was last year, this is this year?
Without a doubt. And I've had, luckily, really good experience with that because of our success at North Dakota State. But you embrace it and you don't shy away from it. And the fact of we're going to use some of the experiences we had last year to help us through the adversity that we're going to see this year. We know we're going to see it. Nothing's going to be easy, and we're going to have some challenges, and hopefully they can draw on, guys like Will can draw on some of those experiences of winning games on the road. But, the expectations maybe change, but the standard doesn't.
What's the difference for Will going into this year knowing that it's his job, it's his team, and he doesn't have to be at the ready anymore?
Belief. Belief in himself, for starters. He's always been a very confident guy, but he has so much belief that, I can be a Big 12 champion quarterback. Belief from support staff, coaches, myself, Colin Klein, that, hey, we're going to hand you the keys because I think his best football is in front of him. And probably the last thing, which is the most important thing, everybody in that locker room believes in him.
The game at Baylor.
Wasn't that a strange one?
Well, I mean, yeah, because
no one.
But I never would have thought that we'd have gone in there and beat them 31-7. No, I just never would have thought.
What did you call it? A ball of knives is what? Yeah.
Oh, it was like
we
you came in there like a rolling ball of knives,
Yeah.
and it was. I mean, the initial part was kind of close, and then you guys just took off. I mean, pretty quickly.
Our backs were against the wall because we had lost to Texas the week before, and we knew if we wanted any chance at all, we had to run the table. And I can't remember, but Baylor had played pretty well coming into that game. They maybe had won at Oklahoma. We watched, and I was like, man, it's always going to be a really well-coached football team. But I thought we matched up pretty well with some of the things that we were doing, especially with Deuce Vaughn. We thought we could get him on the edge a little bit. We didn't know if Adrian Martinez was going to play, and then he starts the game, and then he ends up, I think, breaking his leg on about the third play. Or second series, whatever it was, and Will came in. But that was him all year round. If when you were called upon, I was going to come in and perform. I wasn't going to bellyache or complain because I wasn't the starter. Did the same thing at TCU.
Yep, you did.
He threw 4 touchdown passes in the first half, and it's like this kid just wants the chance to play.
What does it mean to a coach when a player who may not expect to play is ready when it is time to play?
I think it shows everybody else on the roster that when your number's called, everybody's counting on you, and don't be belly aching and mad because I didn't get the chance and stuff. Just prepare every day like you're the starter because in this league, and you guys know it, especially at quarterback, you never know how many guys you're going to play in a game.
How long will you probably tell the tale of Will Howard after he's gone of his story? Because he, in his first couple of years, almost hit every box of bad things that can happen to a player, whether it's having to play before he was ready or injuries or, maybe thinking I've got a shot at the starting job and a transfer comes in. He went through it all, and he didn't waver, and he's here now, a Big 12 champion and a starting quarterback in the league.
Well, every kid that you're worried about transferring, you say, go talk to Will Howard. Go talk to Will Howard. You can complain and blame somebody, or you can put your head down and go to work. And that's what he did. 2020 is what it is. He had to play when Skyler got hurt. We didn't expect to play him in 2021 if Skyler gets hurt. And he has to play. And he was still young. And then we told him, we said, hey, we're going to bring in another guy to compete. And we didn't know we were getting Adrian Martinez. And we bring in Adrian Martinez, and those two got along really well. That was probably the biggest thing is Colin fostered the relationship between Adrian and Skyler to be really, really strong. But they help push each other. And I could tell you in fall camp that I saw a different Will Howard. I saw a guy with a lot more zip on the ball, a lot more better mechanically and stuff, and we felt really good. And then when Adrian got hurt, and it ends up being Will's team about that time, about the third series of the Baylor game, I think maybe we were better offensively with Will in the game because it got so many more people involved. Where Adrian, it was really Adrian and Deuce. When Will came in, Ben Sennett got involved, Malik Knowles got involved. We were always going to use Deuce, but we opened up so many more things.
What's a post-Deuce world like? Just not having him around simply, I would imagine, is kind of a different feeling.
Yeah, special talent, as everybody knows, and he's going to perform here on this field and do a really, really good job. Our running back room is probably deeper than it's been simply because we couldn't keep people that were when Deuce was there. I mean, it was the obvious thing. Now we have a little bit more depth there. A guy that you guys are going to hear of named DJ Giddens, I think, is a terrific football player. He's 225 pounds. He runs like the backs from Baylor do. He's downhill. He's punishing guy. And then we got a kid named Trayshawn Ward from Florida State that he missed all the spring ball, had an injury. He's healthy now. So I haven't seen all the things that Trayshawn can do. I've seen him in the agilities and change of direction and conditioning stuff because it wasn't a leg injury. And then I've seen him in summer conditioning, and I watch his film. I mean, the kid catches the ball, does a little bit of everything, but we're not going to have one bell cow like we've had.
Well, Coach, I'm a Florida State grad. I've watched every snap he's ever played, and I will tell you, one of the things about, and you've probably seen this in the film, Trayshawn has this knack of, it's 3rd and 7? Okay. Okay, he's the one, and they're going to miss him on a team that's really good, but they're going to miss that, the moment was never too big for him.
I can believe that, and he's a very confident kid. He's not a cocky, arrogant kid. He's just a very confident kid. I thought he had really good vision watching him, and he got Oklahoma for some pretty good yards, I think, in the bowl game. So, but same thing. There's another situation where, was he a disgruntled kid? I don't think so. He wanted a bigger role. And so he ends up coming to Kansas State, which we needed. We had a need there.
Kobe Savage, Tyler Junior College. I went to school there many years ago. Craig went there too. And in fact, the radio station that carries him, which we were a part of for a while, is right down the road. But chip on a shoulder. He said to us that he texted every school every coaching staff in the Big 12. And when I think when he was at Tyler Junior College, and not all of them responded to him.
Yep.
You did.
Yep.
So what was it? Because a lot of people, was it size? People look. Kansas State just develops chip on their shoulder players.
Well, I'm an old DB, and I just could tell he had some instincts. You're watching game film. You could tell he had some instincts and could tackle in space, and that's the biggest lost art in football, is guys that can tackle in space. And I remember talking to him on the phone, and I could tell a confident kid. And shoot, I offered him a scholarship on a bus ride home from a game. And I think he had it on speakerphone. He was like the coolest thing. He had like a 6-hour bus ride after a game. And we recruited him late. We didn't even get in on him until later November of that year. But he's brought an energy to our football team and to our defense. And we really missed him when he got hurt. And missed, he got hurt in the Baylor game and missed the rest of the season, and we had to play some young guys. But it'll be good to have him back because we lose a lot of them out of the secondary.
Is that kind of what represents Kansas State, guys like Kobe Savage?
100%. Guys like Kobe Savage, guys even like Cooper Beebe that, came in as an offense line, defense line, not sure, and he developed himself without a doubt. And Kobe does have a chip on his shoulder. I mean, he talks all the time about, hey, you okay? You get hurt or something. I'm good. I'm JUCO. I'm good. He goes, I don't need – and you want to have somebody complain about maybe don't liking the food or something at a meal, go see Kobe Savage. Because Kobe will say, I didn't get fed.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't get – you guys are lucky to have a peanut butter sandwich. I didn't get anything. And that's what you want is guys like that.
Are JUCO guys kind of falling through the cracks these days? Do you believe in that?
100% they are.
Yeah.
Without a doubt they are. And the high school guys are falling through the cracks, and the junior college guys are falling through the cracks. We know we're going to have to get some guys out of the transfer portal.
Sure.
And when I say transfer portal, junior college or 4-year guys. But you still better have the core of your football team that you're going to develop for 4 to 5 years. You have to have that to be successful in this league. And the junior college guys, we had a couple kids. We have Justice Clemens from Tyler as well. We have a kid named Daniel Cobbs that we just got out of Tyler this summer that I don't know what they'll be like in year one because it's a little bit harder. Kobe was able to get through spring ball. But you're hopeful that those guys can develop and help you because some of the backups that guys are losing, just like us, are leaving because they're not playing. Well, then guys like that have to come in and contribute. So freshmen and first-year junior college kids are going to be the big difference in teams, the ones that really are successful because they're going to play those guys and be successful.
Baylor won it 2 years ago, and you know that, and then had a lot of people back, but it just didn't work out, and Dave Aranda's kind of discussed some of that, of maybe how it just didn't mesh. How do you prevent that?
If Dave could have sold a book then, and probably I'd have been the first one to buy it. Every team's different.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Every team is different, but I think the one thing is you don't shy away from talking about it and talking about what got you here, and there is no Deuce Vaughn, there's no Felix Anudike-Uzomah, there's no Julius Brents, there's no Eli Huggins, the list goes on and on. But try not to get ahead of yourself. The worst thing is, we talk about it all the time, and it starts and ends with our strength and conditioning staff. Our strength coach is a bulldog. I mean, he's going to let these guys ever breathe as far as, man, that was yesterday. What have you guys done this year? You haven't done anything this year. And there's a lot of new faces that we're counting on that have never, played any snaps. And so it's at North Dakota State, we didn't allow kids wearing championship gear around. You could not in the facility. Go to the mall, go to the movies, show your girlfriend, all that stuff. But don't be flaunting it around. I don't know if any of our kids, I'm not wearing a championship ring. That was
we
last
noticed
year.
that, yeah.
Kobe said he wasn't.
There's no way. That was last year. Let's focus on this year. I mean, those are things. I got some unbelievable memories in this game in college football. To win 7 national championships in 8 years, I pinched myself. And then to find a way to win a Big 12 championship, those are memories that are going to last forever. But what have I done lately? I haven't done anything yet. It's time to move on to the next season.
There's obviously a lot of talk about the new schools that are here. I don't know how much experience or crossover you have with maybe some of those staffs or whatnot, but do you just in general feel like kind of an energy with this conference right now and kind of the direction that it's headed, whether it be, just Brett Yormark and kind of how he is, but it just seems like there's a cohesiveness and an excitement that hasn't been present for a while.
100%. And Bob Bowlesby is one of my closest friends. He was the AD at Northern Iowa when I played.
Oh, okay.
So I've known Bob since I was a young player, young kid. Brett's brought a great energy into the Big 12 and infused some energy. Look at our media deal. We lose OU and Texas and probably have a better media deal right now. You guys know as well as I do, not just the Big 12, the conference realignment's not ending. It definitely isn't ending. I don't know where it's going to go with Big 10. I don't know where it's going to go with us, but it isn't over with. But the energy that the commissioner has gotten, getting the 4 schools in, we practiced at Houston when we played in the Texas Bowl last year, so I got around that facility and around the city, and it's a great place. I know Frosty really well, so he was at Central Florida and had great success down there. BYU I played at when I was a D coordinator at Northern Iowa. That fan base is rabid. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati's the only one I don't know a whole lot about, but they were in the college football playoff not that long ago. We don't play Cincinnati or BYU, so they're pushing those guys as far away as I can. We've already done some legwork on UCF and Houston because we do play them.
If you don't mind me asking you this, we talk about the guys who have chips on their shoulder. You had to work it through the system. You mentioned Northern Iowa. You were at KU for a GA job, but all the places you were not Power 5 or whatever you want to call it. And you had incredible success. Did you ever have that as far as wanting to prove who you were with a chip on your shoulder as a coach?
Oh, 100%. 100%. And the fact that, whether I was at Northern Iowa and we'd beat an Iowa State or something, or going to North Dakota State and somebody saying, well, whatever you do, don't follow Craig Bull. Don't follow Craig. He just won 3 national championships in a row. I'm like, well, that's kind of hard, but I want that. And then coming here, I know what was said. I get it. I mean, I skipped a step. I didn't go to Group of 5, right? I skipped a step because I had somebody that believed in me, in Gene Taylor. And there was tremendous validation to myself, to Connor Riley, our offensive line coach, who I think is the best offensive line coach in the country, to Joe Klanderman, our defensive coordinator, to say, hey, what we did is working here, and we can do it at this level. And I love going to conventions and talking to Division III people because I was at Loras College for 4 years as well.
So we covered Midway here outside of, or it's generally Waco area. KT Leviston played there. And he was a part of some really great teams, but we knew him as Katori back then. Now he's KT. But can you just talk about your experiences with him and how he's developed, and now he's back for, another run.
Yeah, he's a 6-year guy that, and KT would tell you this, I almost threw him off the team when I first got there.
Wow.
He was a knucklehead. And he'd be the first one to tell you, Coach, I was a knucklehead. Why the heck did you keep me? But I saw something in him, as well as everybody liked him on the football team. He just needed to get out of his own way on some things, and all of a sudden he changed his life around in classroom and some other things, got his degree, all that stuff. But now he's one of the best leaders we have on this team. And Coops, everybody talks about Cooper Beebe and stuff, and Beebs is going to be an early round draft choice. Couture will be the next one. He's changed his body a little bit more, explosive as heck, and very hungry this year.
I would believe that, though, knowing Couture when he was 17 years old to then. Like, he was going to have to grow up fast.
Yeah, and he did. And he had some struggles, just like a lot of people, but he hung in there. And Coach Riley's done a phenomenal job with him.
Well, you've done a great job with Kansas State, and we appreciate it. We've had you on a lot, and we appreciate the access. Congratulations on what was, of course, the past, and good luck going forward in the future.
Appreciate it. Tell Dave hello. I missed him this year, so tell him hello for me.
He's lost his father this week.
Ah, shoot. I'll give him a shout.
Earlier this week, and he was here yesterday. He's not going to be at the coaches' convention because go see his family in California. But, just glad I let you know that.
I'm glad you
Reach
did.
out to him.
I'll definitely be praying for him. So
Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Chris Klieman, Kansas State head football coach on 365 Sports.